Here I am on the Marketing tab under the Social Planner. The Social Planner is one of the newer features of this system, and it's awesome because now you can really manage virtually everything under one roof. So you do need to make sure that your accounts are connected before you attempt to schedule content using the Social Planner. You also can upload social posts as a CSV file, which I feel like is a really cool feature. And then we also have the planner, which is a calendar format. So we can see exactly when our content is going out. If we click on new post, we're going to see create new post, upload from CSV, and social planner templates. Let's just click on social planner templates and see what we find. As you can see, this is a really amazing element of the social planner. These templates are already broken down into industry specific categories. If you are having trouble getting ideas for different types of social media content, this could be a great place to start, especially for small businesses. I will say that ultimately, the best type of social content that you can create is content that's personal to your business, something that has photos of your real products, your real services, your real team, your real successes. So I'm going to skip over this for now. However, just know that this is always here for you to be able to use if you are running into any sort of creative block or time is just a little bit limited. There are definitely some of these categories where I feel like your personal content may not perform any better than this content. But if you do have a personal brand, I definitely want to encourage you to create your content from scratch. So I'm going to go ahead and X out of this, and we are just going to click on create new post. We would select our different social media channels that we want to create this post for. We now have the ability to add an image, add a video, add hashtags, add a tag, and type in this content. So this is a test social media post using the social planner. If I wanted to click on image, I'm going to go ahead and select one of my recent images. Right now, you can see that it looks a little bit weird, but ultimately the photo did import correctly. So this is probably going to preview just fine whenever it actually posts. So I'm going to go ahead and say, speaking at social media marketing world 2023 was an incredible experience. After speaking here for 3 years in a row, I didn't know if it could get any better, but Mike Stelzner, and it's hard to tag people here, but Mike Stelzner and the social media examiner team did an amazing job as always, making the speakers feel special and all the attendees get their money's worth. So I could add a hashtag. And the coolest thing about this, I don't know if it's the coolest thing, but I love custom values. The ability to utilize custom values inside of your social content is absolutely incredible. So if you really haven't wrapped your head around custom values yet, these are values that you can create based on your unique parameters, and you can give that a value so that whatever is autofilled or filled in that value will autofill wherever it is used. For example, my booking link. We could say, if you want to learn exactly how I've been able to land big speaking gigs like this and grow a 7-figure plus coaching and consulting business, I'd love to work with you. Click here to book a call and learn more. So if I want to go into my custom values down here, then we could go ahead and use this value for our link. This is going to ensure that I don't type it in the wrong way, or maybe if I do not remember some of my links off the top of my head, I could go ahead and plug that in. This is also a great way if you as the owner have specific ways that you want to say things that maybe your staff would not always say. You can write even little paragraphs with custom values. So if they're ever talking about a specific product or service, maybe they can select a custom value that says service one benefits, and they can just insert that in. So this is a great way to replicate yourself. Make sure that you don't make basic typos, especially in your links, and you can just really automate this process even further. So I could save this for later. I could schedule this post. I could send this post for approval, which is another really amazing option, or I could go ahead and post this now. So that is our basic tutorial using the social planner, and I'd strongly encourage you to start using this feature. Here I am under the marketing tab, and I am under the templates tab on our horizontal menu. These message templates are really cool, but ultimately I find that they're very underutilized. These message templates are particularly valuable for support and sales. We do try and automate as much of our follow-up as we possibly can, but there are certain things that you simply may not be able to fully automate. However, it doesn't mean it's not a question or a concern that doesn't arise on a regular basis. These templates will allow you to get more out of your existing team members and ensure that the quality or the accuracy of the information you're communicating is always on point. So these templates at the top of my account, these are for some of our social media courses or our master classes. And this would be if someone's asking for a receipt. This would be if they have login issues after purchase. This would be if they were accidentally charged twice for the same thing. So these are, again, things that we can't necessarily automate because sometimes it's an issue on their end. But if they reach out to us about it, we can just send one of these templated messages. There is that templates button that is actually going to be in the conversations tab. It looks like a little form. You can click that. You'll see a drop down of everything that you have set up in your templates, and you can just go ahead and select that really quickly. That way, your support staff or your sales staff doesn't have to waste their time composing these messages time after time. And again, if you have somebody who's brand new, they don't even necessarily have to learn all of the processes if you have some of these templated messages in place. So we can go to add template and we can add a text template. We can give this a name. So as you can see, I have email support or SMS support. Those are labeled so that if it is a support issue, we can find those really quickly. So we want to give it a name that describes what it is. And we simply want to type in our message. We can attach a file through the URL or by clicking this button if we want to send an image. So that's something I'd strongly encourage you to do if there's anything visual that needs to be shared. You can also test this by sending it to your mobile number. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And then if we scroll down to the T's, we're going to see this right here. We can then go into conversations, and we could use that by simply pressing the templates button on text. So some of these are for email, some of these are for text. You're only going to see the templates that are in text format if you're using SMS in conversations. You're only going to see the email templates if you're using the email templates. So just make sure that you do create email and text templates for things that maybe people reach out to in both formats. Otherwise, you're just going to be confused. You think it's created and you go to use it and you're not actually able to, and that's because they are specific to text or email. So again, a really cool feature that most people do not fully utilize, but this is a great way to get the most out of your team, even on things you can't necessarily automate.